Hi there, John Howard with my third talk on what I learned as a commissioner at Colorado Parks and Wildlife and as chairman for a couple of years. I originally called this particular comment on what I learned as a CPW commissioner the Civility Pledge. But then I remember how much I hate forced speech, New Year's resolutions, and trendy pledges. They never work. So let me make some observations on how you get things accomplished on a commission like Colorado Parks and Wildlife, or a board like Greater Outdoors Colorado, where I was a board member for CPW. I think that'll be more interesting than me trying to coerce you into some silly pledge. Civility is the grease that allows people with different views to discuss brutally difficult topics. Once civility breaks down and the discussion isn't going anywhere, nothing's going to get accomplished. Winning and imposing your will on others through bullying words like bigot or snowflake never works. Even an apparent victory is always reversed the next time the other side wins. A board can descend quickly into a tit for tat. Now, I'm sensitive that the word civility can be code for oppression. I was born in Venezuela in 1962 and moved with my parents to Dallas in 1965. My first conscious memories of hearing racist everyday language in the immediate aftermath of the destruction of Jim Crow was in 1968 at age 6. And it's a vivid memory in my mind today. That sort of open racial discrimination went behind closed doors sometime after I entered high school around 1976. And Texas is completely unrecognizable culturally from those days. But in addition to the horrible racial language was a lot of spurious crap about bad breeding, bad manners, mixed race marriages, what about the children, crude personal habits. It was all another way of oppressing African Americans, Hispanics, Vietnamese, our fellow citizens, because they didn't have civility. That's not what I'm talking about. In my travels around the US and the world, every culture has a way of showing respect, a way of signaling to the room that you want to work together, that you have an open mind, that you are prepared to challenge your deepest beliefs in the pursuit of a higher goal, that you are prepared to give each person in the room the benefit of the doubt, that maybe you have been wrong in the past. The finest example of civility in my time on the commission was when Chairman Sage of the Southern Utes graciously attended our meeting in Cortez. Here was a tribal leader who had every reason, given the heritage of exploitation of her tribe, to give us both barrels. But in the most extraordinary moment of my 4.5 years on the commission, she gave a lesson to all of us on civility with her firm and sovereign, but kind and open presentation. To this day, I get shivers up my spine when I remember that talk. That's what civility is. That's what leadership is. We have enormous problems facing conservation, and we're not making enough progress because in no small measure, many of us are not civil, not kind. We don't try hard enough. We take the easy way out in a tough argument. Bigot! Snowflake! Civility is just another way of saying you don't hate your fellow Americans. And we could use a lot more of that from all of us. Join me next week when I'm going to give you a framework for how to think about predators on the landscape.